This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Michael Blewett. He is from Besser Museum. Good morning, Michael.
Thanks, Nancy. Good morning.
As we're taping this, you already kicked off your season of light, and I understand it was a phenomenal success. And I hear people ranting and raving about the new digital planetarium that we're planning.
Yes, and hopefully they're raving more than ranting about it, because it really is something that's pretty spectacular and really bodes well for this whole region. The season of light is, like you said, kicked off, and it's beautiful. You know, so many hours went into decorating the museum, so just visually it's wonderful. I had no idea when I came back to Alpena to live and to work. I said, well, we do this season of light display, and I was just thinking it was a few little Christmas trees, but it's really something. So if you haven't been to the museum, get over there and see it, because it's really something. But yes, and the kickoff, which we did a couple of weeks ago, was wonderful, and we did bring in one of the vendors that we're currently vetting for this digital planetarium upgrade. And we ran some little mini shows for people, about 15-20 minutes worth, just to showcase what the technology can do, what are the potentials. And there's this visual wow factor that happens, but what was really heartening to me is the real wow was about the potential. What can we do with this technology? Everything from earth science and geology and astronomy, anatomy. They showed us this image of a human torso, and then they started peeling away the layers, and we flew up into the cavity, the body cavity, and where the heart would be, and showed the inside of what the skull would look like. We got inside our own heads, as it were. So it's a lot of not just fun, but it's a wonderful immersive learning environment. I was at the Great Lakes Planetarium convention a couple of weeks ago, and they presented a paper that showed about a 20% increase in the ability to learn in an immersive environment like that.
Sure.
So, for us in Alpena, a rural northern Michigan community, to have this kind of a resource at our disposal really bodes well for education and development of really wonderfully employable people in the future.
And we'll bring, people from, far and wide, because the closest one we kind of figure is maybe in the Bay City, Tri-City area, Flint. So the schools and hospitals and anyone will be able to use the facilities. And as we talked earlier, kids can actually go in the classroom, build some kind of a model, and bring it and put it up on the planetarium.
That's right. We talked about that at the demo that this company did for us, that kids can get on a very simple astronomy program and create their own presentation, but they could then, if you can imagine, a third or fourth grader, maybe from Besser, walking over and putting his or her presentation up on a full dome. I mean, it's an incredible experience, and you talk about bolstering the confidence of a youngster. They will see this as, the world is their oyster. I think that they can do whatever it is that they want to do. Seeing this stuff on a big dome like that, it's really going to be a lot of fun, but we do need a lot of support.
And Jesse Besser, when he had his vision, had no idea. I mean, he was forward thinking at that time to build a planetarium and what capabilities it had, and it was just awesome, and it still is up to date. But now the technology has changed, and of course that comes at a big price tag.
It does. There is ongoing fundraising, but I'm happy to report that the train has already left the station, and it's not just asking for individual donations around town. There are foundations that we're working with, there are grants that we're working with, and so there are already some monies promised, and some of them are matching grants. So if you give a donation, in some cases your donation is actually doubled towards this. So it really is a wonderfully forward-thinking, just as Jesse Besser and the Alpena community was so forward-thinking 50 years ago. That spirit still lives on, and I would say now it's our turn to up the ante and to take this into its next phase, its next incarnation.
And you know, anyone listening or watching, a $5 donation is wonderful, a $10 donation is wonderful. Just give something, you know, just give something. Don't just sit back and let everyone else do it, because this is going to be wonderful for this generation and future generations, wonderful for our town, for all the businesses and the technology. We don't even know how far we can go with it yet.
As I keep saying, Nancy, if you can dream it, we can put it on the dome. That's
amazing.
Where the technology has gone now. So we are really limited by the power of our imaginations. And the way that we've always looked at this, and Chris Witulski, our director, has been excellent about this in voicing the fact that this is about a planetarium in a full dome digital theater that is a resource for the community. This is not something that just belongs to the Besser Museum. This is a resource for everyone. And we are going to open the doors and partner with people and teach folks how to use this so that all of the disciplines can be represented. All of the arts, all history, science, all of the humanities we can teach from this incredible cultural and educational hub.
Okay, very exciting. We're almost out of time. We want to make sure we talk about the Salvador Dali exhibit that's coming in.
Coming up in January.
Okay.
And we'll get the exact dates out to everybody as those things unfold. But Salvador Dali was one of the most recognized artists in the 20th century, had a very long career spanning a whole lot of different artistic movements. And he's a great jumping off point for talking about a whole lot of different things, art, history, science, all of these things that we embody here at the Besser Museum. And we have 40 woodcut lithographs that are illustrations of Dante's Divine Comedy. So it's this wonderful blend of art and history and theology and science, and it's really going to be something as we unveil this and then use Dali and this exhibit as a jumping off point to talk about so many different things. So a lot of very exciting stuff happening at the Besser Museum.
And just Season of Light, you know, come on in, get a ticket, go through, look at all the beautiful trees and the exhibits, and enjoy Christmas right in your own backyard. And also, don't forget, if you're looking for a tax-deductible donation before the end of the year, Besser is a good place to start.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nancy.
I'll be right back with Jessica Luther from Alpena County Library following these messages. Hi, welcome back. As promised, my last guest today is Jessica Luther from Alpena County Library. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Nancy. Good to be here.
Thank you for being here, and I know it's a really busy time at the library. You have lots of fun stuff going on, so start us out with Giving Tuesday.
Yes, we had Giving Tuesday yesterday.
Yes.
And as I'm sure everyone in the area knows, the Community Foundation worked with a lot of local agencies to launch a very broad-reaching online campaign, and it was really successful. The library was thrilled to be part of this, and we received some donations.
Yay.
And it was also a really good opportunity for us to ramp up our social media, and we just are so grateful to have the Community Foundation as a partner in this. It's just such a wonderful way to kick off the holiday giving season, and just a way to continue that spirit throughout the end of the year.
You know, the Community Foundation is one of those unsung heroes in our community. They do so much for so many people and manage money and make sure everything's perfect and good for a lot of organizations, but a lot of people don't know about them, so thank you for mentioning them today.
We really, really appreciate them at the library. They're a fantastic asset to the community.
Well, I'm glad you got those donations in, and they'll be used for some of that wonderful, wonderful stuff you do, like the next thing you're going to tell us about.
Our Special Collections Department is having their final presentation for the year on December 7th, and that will be about the cannon that sits in front of City Hall.
Oh, yay.
And the cannon is from the USS Maine, and it's just a very odd thing to have in the front of the Alpena City Hall. So Doug Pugh is going to be giving a presentation on that at 6:30 on the 7th. So if anyone's ever wondered how it ended up there or is just curious in general, they should definitely plan on joining us for that. And there are also, just as a reminder to the viewers, that the Oral History and Photographic Archive is up and running, and they are adding new stuff every single day. It's just so much fun looking at all of those things. And
it's pretty user-friendly, too.
It's extremely user-friendly.
Okay.
You just click on it, and you can scroll through, you can search. It's a lot of fun, and it's nice because my office is right next to them, so I get to hear when they find a jewel.
And
yes, when an unexpected jewel pops up. So that's, and if anyone has something they'd like to share with the department, they should definitely give the library a call. And speaking of the different things that we do at the library, the American Library Association is encouraging libraries to join this new campaign called Libraries Transform. And the gist of it is that it's elevating the awareness of contemporary library work and just how libraries are evolving over the years to meet the needs of their patrons, that we're not just a building with books and computers. There's so much more that we do.
Isn't it?
It really is. And I mean, people come in and they use the computers, but they're also looking for jobs, and they're kids coming in and doing research, and it's a community gathering place. And we're really going to be using this campaign as a way to speak to the community and let them know what a resource they have if they're not already using it.
The books and the magazines and the newspapers alone is amazing that you have the collection that you have of them.
It is an amazing collection, and it grows every day, and we're really, really lucky to have the supporters we have, and we're really lucky to have the staff that we have that's very, very devoted to making sure our patrons' needs are being met every single day, 7 days a week.
Yay. And I know Blizzard of Books.
Yes, Blizzard of Books. The Friends of the Library, they are working on the Blizzard of Books, which is it complements the Salvation Army's Christmas Assistance Program. And they're accepting donations up through December 11th.
Okay.
And with that, you can come to the library and drop off a brand new book for a child ages 3 to 17.
Okay.
And just a new unwrapped book, either at the library or you can go to Blue Phoenix. And Blue Phoenix, as an incentive, is also offering a discount to those customers who come in and purchase a book for the Blizzard of Books and then donate it. So that's such a fantastic program, and it's been going on for quite a while.
And it is. Pick up a book somewhere, run it into the library real quick. It's not something that's going to take a long time out of your day when you're at the grocery store, when you're at a store, or especially Blue Phoenix book, because they're such a good supporter of all the agencies and all the people in the community.
Yeah, it's such a wonderful program, especially access to books for kids is very important. Reading is just so important, and for them to have a book on Christmas is such a nice little added bonus.
It is, and it's a proven fact that kids who read just do so much better in all areas of their life.
They do.
Okay, next.
We have the children's programming.
Okay.
Which Thursday, December 10th at 10 a.m., we have our play date, and it's for children ages 3 to 5.
Okay.
And their caretakers, that they can come. You go up into the big conference room, and there's singing, dancing, socializing. It's just it's a good thing for the kids to socialize, but it's also so great for the caretakers to come out and have some other adults to talk to once in a while, because with the weather turning, you get a little stir crazy because you can't go outside.
Cabin fever.
For sure. So that's, December 10th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
That's a Thursday. And just a reminder that we have so many different things available at your fingertips when you visit our website.
Oh yes, a wonderful website.
Yes, so we've got Brain Fuse for those students needing extra homework help, and it's available from 2 p.m. till 11 p.m. at night, and you can get live help whenever you need it, and they have experts who can answer your questions, help you write an essay. There's also the Zinio, which I had just discovered, where we have access to over 130 online magazines.
Wow.
You can just pull it up, no subscription needed, just a library card. So that's great. And we also, if you have a smartphone or a tablet or anything, you can access our catalog through BookMine.
Yes.
It's an app that's available through iOS or Android, and you can do the catalog, you can access your account, you can place holds, and you can do pretty much anything you would normally do just popping in the library.
Okay, and as the year's ending too, we want to thank everyone there for all that you do and the programs you do in our community. And if anyone out there is thinking, I like all these things they're doing, the Friends of the Library is always looking for volunteers, the library is always looking for volunteers. There's so many wonderful projects that you could do there, help with fundraising, help keeping the books straightened in the shelves, pick a row, come in and do it at your leisure. And just be a part of all the wonderful things that go on at the library.
Yes, and it's a wonderful place. We're all decorated for the holidays, so you should come in and see how lovely everything looks. And And we will be closed on Christmas Eve
Okay.
and Christmas Day.
Okay.
And then we're only open until 2 on New Year's Eve, and we'll be closed on New Year's Day.
Okay, thank you for that update. And if anyone has any questions, go to the website, which is,
It's alpinalibrary.org.
Okay.
Very simple, very easy to use.
and phone is 356-6188.
Correct.
All right, well, I want to thank you very much for being here, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the new year, hearing what the plans are for starting out the new year.
Yes, thank you, Nancy.
Thank you. Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMasters following these messages.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster. I'm president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest today Frank McCourt, athletic director at ACC and men's basketball coach. Welcome, Frank.
Thank you, Dr. Brown.
So, Frank, you've been at it a long time.
Well, I moved up here from Pontiac Public Schools in 1968, and so I've been here for almost 50 years.
And your imprint on basketball in Northeast Michigan at the community college level has been very deep. I see many folks that you used to coach who are now coaches. That's got to be gratifying.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And as a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, I had a son of one of my former players that I coached.
And that feels good.
That feels good.
They wouldn't come if they didn't think that they were going to get the right stuff.
Well, you have to understand that when I was a student at Alpena Community College, my baseball coach at the college at that time was Jim Dutcher, and he said, Frank, he said, you don't have good wheels, so you're never going to be a great player, but you'll be a great coach.
And that was very influential to you.
He was my role model for my whole life.
And became a very, very successful coach himself.
Yeah, he went to Eastern Michigan and coached there, and he coached the University of Michigan for a while, and then University of Minnesota.
Yeah. So tell us about this year's team.
Well, we're very young. We have 2 sophomores, Andy Marweed and Cody Tucker, both Alpena High School graduates, by the way, and we have 11 or 12 freshmen, and they're very nice kids. We have 3 young men from Florida. Jeremy Williams, a former player at ACC and former coach at Hillman High School, saw to it that they got up to Alpena, and we're excited to have them.
Yeah, it seems like a very good bunch of kids. Play hard, play together, play smart.
Yeah, well, we Coach Allen and I both try to insist that that they dress right, behave right, act right, and that's what the program is all about. And we're very fortunate to have leadership like yourself to assist us.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So I saw him play last night. You guys...
we squeaked one out. We have a tendency to play to the level of our opponents, and the last time we played Lake State here, we beat them pretty handily, and last night we kind of struggled, but we won.
Yes, you had a very good night from Andy Marweed.
Andy Marweed and Cody Tucker are Alpena High grads and are really classy young men.
Yes, they are.
As a matter of fact, we were at Lake State last night, and the varsity coach was very curious about what their future was to be.
They might be able to go up there and play when they're done.
They might be able to go up there. They can probably go a lot of different places. I think they're both Division II talented kids.
And you have a kid from Elkona.
Yeah, Trenton Laverne. Trenton has a little issue. He caught an elbow at the end of the game last night, and his mom and dad were there, and probably has a broken nose. But we've got till the 4th of January now, and we think he'll heal up.
Yeah, he's a heck of a player too.
Yes, he's a very nice young man.
Yep. Great parents. So I have to ask you, after all these years, what still excites you about this work?
Well, that's very interesting you should ask, because my wife asked me the other day how long I'm going to coach, and I said, I'm 73 years old. I still enjoy the game. I particularly enjoy motivating young men and young women. I've coached both here, and it's still fun. And when it isn't fun, when practice becomes a chore, then I'll contact you and say, this is it.
Well, the over 50 years, have you seen a big change in young men and women who are student athletes?
I think that the issues that we had 25 years ago, race and other things, are pretty much gone. We don't know race at Alpena Community College. As you know, our men's coach, our women's assistant coach, our men's assistant coach and women's coach is an Afro-American and a very classy young man. And so I think the issues have changed. I think kids are more into electronics than they are into drugs and those kinds of things anymore.
When you see your team bring its best game and do the things that you want them to do on the floor, describe that feeling if you can. That's still got to be exciting.
Well, it is exciting. It's we read so much about crime and that kind of thing, and I firmly believe that athletics in college and high school is the thing that separates some of these young people from another life, a different kind of life.
I would agree with that, and I bet you've seen that over the years, where the discipline and focus and coaching has prevented some people from going the wrong way.
My classic example is Coach Allen, okay, who not only coached with me but played for me, and what a classy young man he is, and he attributes his success to the experience he had as a player at Alpena Community College.
And we see his face up at Lake State University as a legend up there.
Oh, he is a celebrity up there, that's for sure. And it was interesting to be up there last night and see the Hyvarnen family and others. And your coaching is exceeded by the success that the young people have that play for you.
That's very well put, and I did see that, and that is a family of folks that have come down here to play ball for you and Coach Allen.
Yeah, right.
And that says a lot. The 3 kids from Florida.
Yeah, and they're all good kids, and we don't tolerate nonsense in our program, as you know. And if you don't want to do it our way, then the door has an exit as an entrance.
Mm-hmm. Any last thoughts you'd like to share with folks out there?
Well, I just think in January, it's Alpena is unique. We play our games at night all of the time because we draw very, very well in terms of crowds, and we're the only school that I know of that plays at night on Saturday. And other coaches respect that and say they like to come to Alpena because they always know they're going to play in front of a big crowd.
Yes, it is an event. And Frank, I want to thank you for joining me today, and thank you for your long-time efforts over the years on benefit of ACC and the student athletes.
Well, I want to thank you for the leadership that you've shown and the support for our program.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you next week on Talk of the Town.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts, Nancy Smitham and Don McMaster. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on the community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.
The Talk of the Town furniture and set design are provided by Young Appliance Art Van Furniture on US 23 South in Alpena.